What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. Today's video, we're going to be kind of discussing how social media has really just killed romance, right? I mean, you hear it everywhere. People talk about it all the time, and it seems like it's quite the epidemic, I'd say, right? You know, it seems like everyone, especially my generation, but even the generation before, seems like everyone's kind of just always on their phone, right? Everyone's always talking to their person, they're always doing something, right? So what I came here to talk about is how it seems more like as the days go on, no one can have a real relationship. And I think this is a topic that a lot of people will agree with me on, so I don't see this being super controversial. But even if it is, I don't really care, because this is just how I view it. But anyways, it just seems like there's like a super big problem with trust, right? It seems like there's a huge problem with people being able to just trust one another and being able to trust their significant others more specifically, right? And I think a lot of that comes down to the fact that you have a lot of accessibility to seeing other people's things now, right? And you're so used to being able to see it at the touch of your hand, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like a point now where people expect to see those things, and if they don't, then it's like, oh my gosh, you know, what do I do? And it's kind of scary, you know? I would say that social media killed my most previous relationship, not fully, but you know, it definitely played a big part into it, and more so on my end, because you know, I'm someone who fell into that trap a lot and was always like, oh, what are they doing? Let me check my phone. You know, it's just stuff like that, and you know, stereotypes that you see on social media don't help that either. So I will admit that, you know, I am a victim of that. When it comes to being able to, you know, get away from that, because that's the whole point of this video, right? I'm not just here to talk about it. Like, you guys know it's there, and you've probably heard about it a lot. But what it really comes down to is if you can get past that or not, right? And I guess I'm kind of just here to teach you how, or maybe even tell you some insight on maybe how you could change it yourself. So, you know, if these things resonate with you, make sure to, you know, put some thought into it and try to flip them around for yourself. But when it comes to social media, it seems like nowadays it's impossible to have a relationship without texting them or calling them or FaceTiming. Like, it doesn't matter, right? It seems like there's always a precedent there that you need to be looking at their location to make sure they're not lying. And it's like we've almost built a zero trust toleration against everybody. Like, you can't trust anyone. And it's pretty weird because now all of a sudden you're in a spot where you get in a relationship, and even if you know that person super well, it kind of gets to a point where you just don't even trust them. And you don't even know why. Like, they could do everything right, which in my case, that person did, right? They did everything good, everything was good, and then I still would find room to be like, okay, but why is X, Y, and Z not texting me right now? Or why are they active but not talking to me, right? And you gotta realize those things too, right? It's their phone, it's their life. Let them do what they want, okay? When you're sitting there badgering on somebody and, you know, just nagging at them to text you back, like, it's kind of just annoying, right? You know, if people do that to you, think about it. Like, if someone was doing that to you, doesn't matter, girlfriend or just a peer, it's just annoying. Or, sorry, girlfriend or boyfriend or like a peer. It's just pretty annoying. And I see it just everywhere. It always kills people's relationships. Like, I have a buddy who can't even go on his phone, and, you know, if he's like scrolling and looks past something while he's with his girlfriend, he can't even like see a picture of girls, otherwise she's gonna get mad at him. And you know, some could argue, okay, well, you know, that's his page, like that's his recommended, like, okay, but the point that I'm trying to get at though is that you shouldn't care about those things in the first place, right? And when you do, that's where it starts to kill romance. There's just nothing there. But more specifically, it comes down to the fact where you'll be maybe out doing something with your friends, right? Or you're with your family. And then that person is going to be worried about what you're doing. Or, oh, you're by so-and-so's house, he's probably cheating on me. It's just too much, right? And I think I'm not even speaking for the generation before me. I'm really speaking of my generation right now. And I hope that this reaches out to as many people in my generation as possible, because I want to be able to help you guys. And I'm not going to sit here and say that everyone does it in my generation. Absolutely not. But I would probably happily say 80% and above. But yeah, so I want to be able to make this for myself, but also for you guys. It seems that more often too, you get these things where, people start posting revealing pictures, and people are kind of just doing stuff for attention, right? And this is where, in my case, I was in a relationship that the person did kind of post those things, and I had a problem with it. I know it's kind of like hypocritical, like you either have it all or you don't have it at all, right? So it was kind of something that I didn't agree with and I didn't like, but that's just how the world works. Girls are going to post revealing pictures, or go out in public wearing revealing clothing, and go to the gym wearing literally essentially nothing, right? And I'm not here to say that you can't wear what you want, right? Like, you can absolutely wear whatever you want, whatever you're comfortable with, right? But I do think that if you are getting to a point of concern for your safety, and maybe you don't like when people do those kind of things, just stop wearing it, right? Like, for me, if I was going to the gym and I'm gonna cut off, and I got my muscles showing, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to look good. Even if it's just for myself, so then when I look in the mirror, I can see that and be like, oh, wow, that's nice. Like, I look good. There's still gonna be people that are gonna look. It's not just guys. Like, it can happen with girls as well. Or sorry, you get what I'm trying to say, right? Other way around. Yeah, I think that we really do need to focus on bringing back the standard of just decency. Like, if you're a girl and you're doing your own thing, that's cool, right? That's your own self-respect. You guys can do whatever you want. But at the end of the day, if you're with somebody, please just have some decency for that person. Just, don't be sitting there doing stuff that would make them mad. And, I also do think that men as well, more specifically here, just learn to get over it, okay? When your girl's doing these things and this and that, like, listen, one thing I have to tell you from experience is that, listen, if they're not cheating, leave it, right? If you trust that person, I know that's what I'm saying too, it's kind of hard to trust people because you always got to be seeing this and that. Like, it becomes a damn chore. I just wanted to say though that, when it comes to just the revealing pictures, this and that, whether it's guys posting gym pics or girls just posting their, those kind of things, it kind of does kill romance a little bit. And yes, it shows those things, but also we're kind of getting into an era where when you do dress like that and you look like that and put yourself as that image of yourself, people are going to think of you in a sexual way. And I'm a firm believer that you should definitely just not do that, right? Like, you shouldn't want an image of yourself that's bad. So if we could really just turn this around, like, as a generation, it'd be great. Because you look at even other countries and it's like they don't even do that kind of stuff, but we do, right? So I just think that if we work together and be able to maybe just stop posting on social media, right? Or stop, posting those kinds of things on social media, that it could really benefit just one another. Because, let's say you have like a spam on Instagram or something, specifically speaking to my generation, by the way. If you have like a spam and you post everything about your life and you literally, your whole story is right there, and let's say you meet a guy, well, that just leaves less to talk about. That leaves less to be discovered, and people wonder why it's the 3-month rule, which is bullshit, by the way. There's no such thing as a rule. But now you don't have anything to talk about. That's why they get boring, because there's nothing to talk about, right? You guys don't know what to talk about because you already seen how their last 3 years of their life has went. There's no story to be told because it's already been told. So, that's, I guess, kind of an extreme, maybe a little bit of a reach, but I do genuinely think that. I think that if we were able to maybe dial back on the social media, I don't mean quit it completely. I know that's kind of what I said, but I guess I really just mean, dial it back a little bit, because social media, it's like Spark Notes for people, right? You're going to see all the best greatest parts about it, yeah, it's kind of a problem, and I want you guys to definitely work on that. Or if you think that's a problem that maybe your partner is dealing with, and help them through that, because I want to see better for our generation. And we are very smart. We are very athletic, smart, good-looking group of individuals. And the last thing I want is for us to fall victim to social media, right? I mean, that's just kind of pathetic if you really think about it. But yeah, so even for someone like me though, right? I'm someone who, I always post my gym progress on my Instagram, right? Not my main one, because that's kind of crazy, but I do kind of document it, and then I leave it in a highlight, I guess you call it. And would I be lying would I say that that's not for other people as well? Absolutely, it is. I do like when people see that stuff. So that's what I'm saying. I'm making these for me as well, because they're gonna help me grow. So I'm not sitting here saying I'm all high and mighty and I don't do these and you guys need to stop. Like, it's me too. And that's kind of why I thought I would make this video, because I figured it'd be able to help me out and maybe give me some people that would be able to do it with me and be able to start that journey with me. But yeah, like, if you're not using social media for good, or like, even like this to spread a good message or anything like that, then it's not really something that you need to do, right? You can if you want, but it's not a need. So with that being said, that's kind of all I have for you guys today. It is Wednesday, so the day you will be watching this, this is getting posted today. So I had to lock in, got home from work, showered, now making this for you guys. And then I think I'm gonna go grab some coffee with the boys, maybe a matcha. I've tried them like once or twice, pretty damn good. So might go get one, and then I'm about to hit the gym. Just have a really good, productive day. So I hope that you guys can stay productive as well. If you're watching this on this Wednesday as well, just have a great day. It's actually terrible weather outside, but I'm still gonna go make the best of it. So yeah, but love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. As always, sorry my crippled hand can't make a heart that well, but I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in, and